Good morning, everybody. My name is Barry Schwartz, and this is the Search Buzz video recap. Today is Friday, July 21st, and this is the search news we covered over at the Search Engine Roundtable at SERoundtable.com over the past week. Google, very, very heated all week long, starting last weekend. Beyond heated. It's just insane. Update should be coming soon, but we're still waiting. Google News has an indexing bug, and they fixed it. We talked about it last week, but it's all fixed. AI-generated content and Google, more topics on that. Trust Awards page experience, links, and related topics. Definitely want to stay tuned and read all about that. And Bing chat features are coming out. So definitely stay tuned. A lot to discuss. And thanks so much for subscribing and liking the video. And make sure to comment. And of course, I'd like to thank our sponsor, Wix. Wix has been doing some pretty cool SEO stuff. You should definitely check them out, what they're doing. One thing, for example, is you can now add hierarchical to static pages. Beforehand, you were not able to put static pages under one folder. Now you are. So check this tweet out from Morty. Also, bigger news from Wix is that they have a new Wix AI site builder tool where you can make things like create images from scratch, help generate content and titles and so forth. And again, check out this tweet from Morty Oberstein about how it all works. Great job, Wix, and thank you so much for sponsoring. So on Tuesday, I posted about another search ranking algorithm update, but this one was like insane in terms of like the charts and so forth. The chatter wasn't as much because I think SEOs are just becoming like, this is the new life where my rankings are just all over the place, constantly swinging up and down like a roller coaster. But it seems like the tools are just like went off the charts. So I think it was like Tuesday, maybe Wednesday, depending on the tool you're looking at, literally went off the charts. Like the tools were like beyond heated, like I'd never seen before. It did seem to calm down a little bit throughout the week. So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday calm down a little bit. Some are back to normal, but most of them are still very, very heated, but not what we saw like on Tuesday or Monday of this week. So if you are noticing significant changes, you're definitely not alone. A lot of things going on with the search results and so forth. But we keep asking, when is there going to be a new Google update that Google could actually confirm? Google has not confirmed an update in many months, at least 3+ months. The last one was in April. Before that, April was the reviews update. March was the, I believe, the core update. The helpful content update was, I think, in December. So it's been a while. And somebody, Christine, asked, are you guys going to run any updates this summer because I really need one? And John Mueller said, I'm sure we'll have some. Cue the countdown music. In any event, yeah, I'd be shocked if Google didn't release an update soon. Everybody thought it would happen by now, but no. I mean, when it's ready, and Google doesn't like to pre-confirm any of these updates unless it's one of these like updates that really doesn't make a difference, like IMP. All right, the Google News indexing bug that was an issue for the past several weeks, starting in mid-June, I think June 21st, June 22nd, and lasting through last Friday, a week ago, is now resolved. So again, June 21st or so through July 14th. Google officially confirmed on July 14th, Friday afternoon, like around, 2, 3, 4 p.m. Eastern on Friday afternoon, that it was fixed. And it is fixed. No publishers, I don't see them complaining anymore, and it seems like content is flowing again from the news publishers into Google News. Google spoke about AI content again. Danny Sullivan responded to an article where it basically said, by default, AI content is well received by search engines, including Google. And Danny Sullivan said it's not correct that AI content will be well received by search engines, at least by us. He basically was saying, again, that, let me quote, there's a lot of AI content on the web that doesn't rank very well, and hence it isn't well received. AI content has no magic ranking factors. He's basically saying AI content can rank or can't rank, just like human content can rank or can't rank. But it's not like Google will give any boost because it is written by AI. It all depends on how that content is written, like we discussed many, many times before. But there is no magic ranking boost for in Google search for content that's written by AI to be ranking better by default just because it's AI written. And then later that evening, news broke that Google came out with something called Genesis or something like that, where Google has a tool to help journalists write content. Some people said completely write the content, but Google's basically saying, not completely, help journalists come up with headlines and content ideas for their websites. So we'll see. Also, we noticed that Danny Sullivan wrote that having journalistic awards published on your website, About Us page, or wherever on your website, saying this website won journalistic awards is not a direct ranking signal. Many months ago, Google came out with a topic called News Topic Authority Ranking System, which is an old ranking system, old Google ranking update. But Google clarified what those means and listed 3 things that are signals for that algorithm update. One is how notable the sources are, what influence and original reporting, and also are the sources reputable. And one thing it says here specifically is, for example, it says a publication's history of doing original reporting or the journalistic awards are strong evidence of positive reputation for news websites. So somebody asked, where should we put these journalistic awards when we win them? How does Google know that we have these journalistic awards? And Danny Sullivan, the search liaison, said it's not a direct ranking signal, meaning journalistic awards are not a direct ranking signal. It's a way to self-assess if a source has built a good reputation, meaning self-assess me or you to say, oh, this website is a good website. But there is no direct ranking signal to putting awards on your website and saying, hey, this is a good website and Google will treat it better. Google Merchant Center has released some detailed help documentation around how to build trust with your customers. And of course, building trust with customers is important, and it goes through business identity, transparency, online reputation, professional design, and then it gives bullet points about how to go through and communicate those trust-building customer factors directly with Google through putting information in Google Business Profile, SEO guidelines, reviews, and all this other stuff. So definitely take a look at that. Again, just with a grain of salt, it's just advice from Google. It doesn't mean that those are direct ranking signals as well. John Mueller said Google page experience doesn't fix other SEO problems. He said on Twitter, and let me quote him, page experience is very vague. We think about Core Web Vitals as a page experience and a helpful content system. There's definitely no load time below X milliseconds ranking number 1 type of signal. He said, think about it differently. He said a good page experience is useful regardless of SEO. So there are case studies by various commercial sites showing how a minimal improvement maps to measurable change in user behavior. A great user experience doesn't fix other problems, but users have high expectations now. Basically, if users do it, it's not going to fix all your SEO problems, but go ahead and do it because it does make a big difference for users and conversions and all that other stuff. Google Search Console's link report is showing drastically fewer links. I report this like every year. Just to give you some context, it's down for me about 90-something% in terms of the link count from just a few years ago in 2018. I'm seeing about 215,000 links pointing to Search Engine Roundtable. Yet last year it was about 550,000. In 2019 it was 1.2 million, and then in 2018 it was 2.5 million. I think before that it was like way more than that. And John Mueller responded this morning saying, I checked with the team. They say overall things are stable, so it doesn't look like there's an outage or anything like that. In any large dynamic system, numbers will fluctuate. I imagine that's what we're seeing here, but it'll keep out for other mentions. So I don't know. It seems like everybody's reporting these issues, and I validated them with my own site, so you're definitely not alone if you notice the Search Console link report is showing fewer links. Google has removed the related search operator. Related search operator was supposed to be a way to put in a URL in Google search with a related command, and Google will say these are related pages to, or related sites to this page. Google removed that. Google said it's not really used much, it's not accurate, et cetera, and Google's Danny Sullivan confirmed that it's gone. You guess could use like Bard or Google SGE to ask you what are related sites to this site. Does a pretty good job. So if you need to figure out what's related, you can do that. But the related search operator, which has been around forever, is gone from Google search. Google is still working on improving its preferred language search issues. Google talked about this many months ago, I believe in January, and it's still working on improving that. A survey from Joe Hall asked SEOs, what do you do with your category or tag archive pages? Do you Noindex them and so forth? And 37.4% said Noindex. 28.3% said do nothing. 11.3% said canonical tag. And 23% said turn into a landing page. Some of those advices are pretty bad, but in any event, this is a pretty cool poll, so definitely take a look at that. Google's John Mueller spoke about keyword research and SEO. Basically, somebody asked him, does keyword research help your SEO? And John Mueller said, no, it doesn't. And the short answer is no, it doesn't. But if you want to go ahead and write great content and figure out what to write about, yeah, you need to do keyword research. But it's not a direct SEO factor per se, which was John's point. But definitely do your research before writing stuff. I don't know if you need to do keyword research before writing stuff. I don't really do keyword research when I write stuff. I write stuff based on what I think people are interested in, and I don't use keyword research for that. John Mueller also spoke about fake personas, and he said he hates finding sites that are making up fake things. So fake profiles on LinkedIn, fake websites that have fake information about fake people giving fake testimonials. He says it's awkward. He says, PSA, making up fake people for your review site is awkward, even with fake LinkedIn profiles. So if you make up a name, create a LinkedIn profile, do all those fancy things to make fake personas to trick Google, it's awkward. Copying YouTube reviews from others together to make your own is cheap. Submitting it as a ranking question to office hours. What do you want us to say? So basically, people are making up fake personas to submit questions to Google for office hours questions. To be honest, none of this would be a problem if you just do it as yourself. It's fine for one person to run a site. You just don't need to make fake personas. So there's nothing wrong with a small business having a single persona on the website because that's what the small business is about. Be truthful about who you are and so forth. Glenn Gabe noticed, again, where he's getting traffic from some of his client websites from RaterHub.com. RaterHub.com, which we covered back, I think, in 2005, is the quality raters portal where they log in and go ahead and rate websites or rankings. And they have to click over to websites to see and evaluate those websites to make sure it's actually doing a great job. We covered this many times. And I actually looked at my website for the past year to see if it's getting any traffic from RaterHub.com. And I noticed that two articles are actually got traffic from it, which is pretty interesting. In any event, it's not unusual to see that, but it's always fun to dive down that rabbit hole and see which articles are actually being looked at by the raters. Again, quality raters are not a direct influence to your rankings. They're just people who give feedback to Google search engineers on how well their rankings are doing. Bing Chat now supports visual search. You can actually go ahead and upload images to Bing Chat as part of your prompts, which is pretty cool. Google launched that a couple weeks ago with Bard using Google Lens. Microsoft Bing Chat will work on any browser in the future. Right now, it only works in Edge, but in the coming week or two, according to Microsoft's Canel, it will work in any browser, which will be great because it's probably very limited to open up Edge every single time you want to use Bing Chat. Bing Chat dark mode is coming in a couple weeks as well, according to Mikkel. So in a couple weeks, you should have dark mode. Google actually has that for Bard already. Google Search has this new compare systems and savings feature, which is pretty cool. It basically brings in EnergyStar or Energy.gov information to show you, for example, for AC units, what you can actually save with rebates from the government. This is spotted by Kushal, so nice find there. Google News suggested for you to find news sources is also being tested. This is spotted by many people, including Cord Blomqvist and Kushal as well. This is, I think, part of the Google News Showcase, which is going to be rolling out to the US for a while, but it seems to be rolling out for some people as well. Google Search Updates for You, which looks similar to that, is also rolling out for some people, where it shows you updates for you, where if you type in a topic, it will give you articles related to that topic, which they call updates for you. This was spotted by Gagan on Twitter. It's a nice find. Google is testing Google Ads Editor version 2.4.1 is out. 2.4.1 came out a couple weeks after 2.4, which is a major release. 2.4 was a major release of Google Ads Editor. And this new version of Google Ads Editor 2.4.1 is a minor release. I'm not sure what, probably a stable release, probably some bugs that Google had to fix. This was spotted by Rob Unit on Twitter. Again, I'm not sure what's in that release, but it seems to be out there. And also, I removed Google AMP from my website, I think a little bit over 3 weeks ago, and I wanted to report on how things are going. In general, they're doing well. What I expected, the valid AMP pages are going down. The invalid AMP pages are going also down. There was actually a spike showing a lot of invalid AMP pages when I first removed it. It took Google time to process that those were not valid. And then the page indexing report started to show a little bit more pages being indexed, which is interesting. I did notice the Discover report seemed to dip down. It seems like the Google Discover traffic did dive a little bit. Glenn Gabe noticed that my images were actually smaller thumbnails, and he said use the max preview image, which I did, and actually improved it, which is mind-boggling because the images themselves were actually maxed and I didn't have any restriction on it. In any event, it seems like the Discover traffic is slightly going up again. And there was a huge crawl spike when I removed the AMP pages, which was, again, noticeable. Also, I released a video with Fabrice Canel of Microsoft Bing, who's been at Microsoft for like 25 plus years. He pretty much worked on the first search engine feature for Microsoft.com. And then he obviously got into indexing, and he's a big indexing guy at Microsoft. If you don't know him, you should. He's at FACAN on Twitter. And we have an interview last Monday. We'll have an interview next Monday and the next Monday afterwards with Microsoft's Fabrice Canel. So definitely take a look at that. Pretty good stuff. And then thank you so much for listening to the Search Buzz video recap. My name again is Barry Schwartz at the Search Engine Roundtable. This is the news we covered over the past week. In any event, thanks again for listening. Thanks to Wix for sponsoring. Definitely check out their new cool stuff that they're constantly releasing. And thanks again for subscribing and liking and commenting on this video. Everyone have a great, healthy, safe weekend. I appreciate it. Bye-bye.